Well, we have heard some extraordinary scientists, musicians, inventors, and intellectuals share their work here. I, on the other hand, am going to change things up. I'll talk about messing around, having fun, and how stepping outside your comfort zone and pursuing something impossible can and will change your life forever. So, my job this afternoon is actually pretty easy. I get to tell you a story, and it's a little self indulgent, but at the end of the story, I will share with you what is probably the biggest takeaway for me. 2 years ago, I was lucky enough to climb the world's highest mountain and come back home alive. Let's start with a big question. Why? Many ask me, why Everest when we have so many mountains for beginners that are less dangerous? Why Everest? Mountaineers will say, because it is there. For me, however, it was much more than that. I had a deep purpose which kept the fire burning. Everyone here will have hundreds of childhood dreams. When I grow up, I want to be a race car driver. I want to be a base jumper. I want to be a test pilot. I want to be an astronaut. But as we grow up, we tend to get stuck between life, work, money, family, and commitments. This is common, and I was stuck too. One day, sitting all alone in my room worrying about my career and commitments, I came to a realization. I took a moment and decided to look back at life, all the things I wish I did and I'm missing out. I always thought about climbing the mighty Mount Everest ever since I was a little kid. Being on top of the world is something greedy, yet an accomplishment that I needed in my life at the moment. After doing ample research, talking to climbers, expedition leaders, and trainers, I decided, let's do this. I was also very realistic here. I knew exactly where I was, both physically and mentally, and I was very frank about this to my trainers. I set a deadline and trained every single day for 3 years then. In 2015, a year before my actual climb, I secured the permit, which cost me $11,000, and I decided it's time to tell my parents. Though I didn't have a good relationship with my parents then, I knew deep down they needed to know this. Given the statistics of 1 in 4 climbers die every year, they deserve to know. Saying it out loud made me prepare for the worst. I realized this is no more a fantasy, but a real life or death situation. Trying to climb the mighty Mount Everest with zero mountaineering experience, even when the professional mountaineers fear, that's sheer madness. The word got around. Everyone was talking about me. Some were even shaming me. Many were praying from different parts of the world. I got the much needed help. At this point, my only focus was to pursue the impossible I set my mind to. I reached Kathmandu on 31st March 2016, met my team, hired my gears, and backpacked to the top of the world. Even my own team weren't excited about me, given my lack of experience and how I might put them in danger. I was discouraged. I was bashed. I was called a disgrace to my country. I was helpless. I was crying in pain. But I wanted to do this. I chose this path voluntarily when I could have been sitting at home on the couch binging on Netflix like everyone else. I was an undergrad student from India then, and I didn't have too much money to spend, nor was too athletic for this race. The next 1 month was the most pain I suffered in my life. Bruises, multiple fractures on my body, broken ribs and ankle. I duct taped it and kept pushing myself as hard as I could. At Base Camp 3 on 28th April 2016, I developed a very serious altitude illness known as pulmonary edema. My lungs started filling with fluid, high altitude pulmonary edema. It's a worst nightmare a mountaineer could wish for, and you're prone to die within 24 hours after it forms. The only treatment for this is to descend as quickly as you can, but at 7,000 meters in altitude, the air is too thin for a chopper to perform a rescue. But fortunately, two strong Sherpas were able to assist me back down the mountain, taking about 2 days to get me back into base camp. I was less than 1100 meters from the summit. Being on top of the world as a first time climber would have been a record and an inspiration for many, yet I needed to return to save myself from the mountain. Under those conditions, it wasn't a failure due to my lack of motivation or desire or preparedness. It was due to conditions beyond my control. I didn't see it as a failure, I simply called it a non success, and I knew I could go back to Everest someday. That one decision to know when to put a pause on my dreams changed everything. Many say you will learn the value of something only when you don't have it. I realized many life lessons up on the mountain, left alone with my thoughts. The importance of food, how much we waste and neglect when we had plenty. The importance of people around us, how much we ignored their calls and seeing them although we had the time. The importance of money, how much we could have saved but spent on things we don't need. The importance of fundamentals, when you're dying without oxygen and water, you realize how it was taken for granted. Ultimately, what does this mean, you might think? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what? What can we learn from this and the bigger context? My big takeaway is the benefits as an individual of taking yourself outside your comfort zone. That's where I think there is an immense capacity for self awareness and self growth. There are times when I get trouble to see where the direction of humankind is headed. I think if we can all take ourselves outside our comfort zone, do away with complacency, then I think we can all live a much better life. Everyone here has their own Mount Everest in life. Follow yours.